technology is truly amazing, and it can be one of the most empowering and most productive things you can do is utilize technology to make you more efficient. But technology can also have its fault. In your hands, you have a device that has access to the entirety of the internet. And sometimes when you're trying to be productive, the most productive thing you can do is put technology down and pick up paper. I've been using paper and paper journals, moleskins to write down my thoughts, write down my ideas for years and years. And whenever I'm really feeling stuck and in a rut, not necessarily being productive and not moving as quickly as I want to, I pick up a piece of paper and I turn off all the electronics. Paper helps me distill my thoughts and ideas without the distractions of all the digital. I love digital, but mobile applications have notifications, they have alerts, they have social media, they have people notifying you and calling you, things that are asking for your attention, and that can be a huge distraction. By turning off the digital, turning off those notifications, you remove all of those distractions and you can really focus on what's in your head. By putting things down on paper, you're really using paper as a way to process your own thinking. You can identify the things that are most important to you and put them down on a list. Paper is also non-constrained. You can draw arrows, you can draw shapes, you can draw diagrams, you can connect your thoughts from one idea to another and make discoveries that were trapped inside your own head. I'm definitely not a productivity expert. I'm easily distracted. And every new thing is a new shiny marble, a new piece of technology to explore, which is empowering and amazing, but it can also really be a drain. Sometimes I need to get out of my own way, and technology ends up being part of the problem. By taking technology out of the equation, by removing the battery, removing the Wi-Fi, removing all of those external dependencies, I find I'm able to be much more productive. When I open up a clean sheet of paper and I make a list, I find that I'm much more active in making progress on that list and moving to the next step that I actually want to do. That list is coming from me. It's not an external list that's driven by To-Do app. I'm opening up a new sheet of paper and I'm thinking through what is important in that day, in that moment, and that allows me to really prioritize appropriately and make much more tangible progress on things I need to do. The other interesting aspect about paper is paper can actually help you remember things better. There's a number of studies that show that when you write things down, your brain is processing them better. And so when you're listening and when you're typing on a computer, your brain is in the act of transcribing. It's not actually processing that information. But when you are taking notes, when you're writing things down with paper and pencil or paper and pen, your brain isn't transcribing. It can't keep up with the stream of verbal information that's being spoken. So instead, it is trying to pick out the pieces of information that are more important. And that thought process, that filtering of information that is more important is actually really instrumental in helping people remember facts and remember the most important facts in a conversation much better than if they're transcribing and looking at a computer or trying to type their notes. Neuropsychologists have also identified something that they call the generation effect. When your brain thinks it's generating facts or generating ideas or inventing new things, it is much better at remembering them. So when you're writing things down, you're actually tricking your brain into thinking that it is creating that information and therefore it is better at remembering it. So this is a journal I've had for years and years, and I just write down ideas, things that I'm pondering, sketch out things that I see. It helps me really free form some ideas that I'm trying to process and identify the things about those ideas that are either more or less interesting. It helps me filter my own brain, my own thought process on what ideas I'm trying to conceptualize and why those ideas are either interesting or not. This is one of my newer notebooks, and I use it much less for ideation and much more for generating lists of things that I need to go and follow up on. Sometimes I use it to take notes on meetings, classes, lectures, conversations that I'm having. And I don't necessarily use it as a reference where I'm looking back at it to look up a piece of information, but really to process that information in the moment. I'm Raiz. I talk about startups, technology, and design. I hope I'll catch you on the next one.